Yo, good morning, traders. Welcome to another episode of Market in the Morning. It is August 20th already. Could you guys believe that August is almost over? We have a lot to cover today. The S&P has taken a turn back to the downside. So has the NASDAQ. Institutions are starting to position a bit more short on these equities as well. So we're going to break things down here on Market in the Morning, give you guys some key levels and some actionable insights, break down gold, the S&P, NASDAQ, and any other asset that you guys want to cover. So if you're ready to make some money today, smash that like button because Market in the Morning starts right now. Yo, good morning, everybody. Famous, what's going on? Ted, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. How's it going? How's it going? Matt, hello. Hello and welcome. Tazzy, good morning. I feel like I was just speaking to you. Hope you guys are ready for a great trading day. We're getting some volatility kicking in. We're getting some markets participants, some volume stepping in. We're going to cover the headlines. We're going to cover what could possibly be flipping this bias right now because we do still have a bit more of an overall bullish regime. However, markets are giving us a pullback. So is this a pullback to give us a better buying opportunity, or is this some type of calm before the storm? So let me know what you think, if you're bullish, bearish, or ranging. I'm going to put that up in a little while, so don't tell me right now. But right now, I want you guys to tell me what it is that you're going to be trading today, and we'll cover those assets as we please. So let's start off with our overnight and macro context. Good morning, everybody. Guys, if you're stepping in, make sure you hit that like button. If we hit 100 likes, we'll do a free 1-month giveaway of MRKT. So, give me a second here. All right, high oil and firm yields offset by Treasury support and AI demand. ES and Q. Let's start with our Ask Market. Let's prepare with Ask Market today. Yo, Anna, good morning. Yusuf, good morning. Minhal, good morning. Crypto Hustler, what's going on, homie? Eric, good morning. Abdullah, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Piyush, hello, hello. Guys, let's Ask Market. Help me prepare to trade the S&P 500 futures today with levels, bias, and what's supporting and what could flip it. It's that easy. It's like, hey Jarvis, like we have Ask Market as that hey Jarvis. So let's send that through, see what market has to tell us, and see how things want to play out. Look at that. Wow, that was quick. That was very fast. ES is bullish, 76.86, targeting 78.05. Oh, nope. Let's see. Where'd that go? 76.86, targeting 78.05 on dovish Fed repricing and AI earnings leadership with a reversal risk tag because the Hormuz oil spike and firm long-term yields are building pressure. Pullback area is 76.85. Now, when I'm looking at these charts, the first thing that I see, well, first off, we just hit that 76.85 and bounced off of it perfectly. Thank you, Ask Market. But what do I see when I'm looking at these charts? I see that sellers are finally and trying to break us lower here. So using the Kev indicator, I found this area of support. I want to see price retrace to the 7,700. And if we remain below around 77.05, I'd want to try to find those shorts to target the next area of interest to the downside. Now, again, we know we're still overall bullish, so we have to make sure that everything does actually line up to give us that run and get us there. So, what's powering the bid? Dovish Fed rate path repricing and slightly easing Treasury yield support valuations. AI and tech investment cycle sustains S&P earnings leadership. Flip watch, here's what we should look for. Now this, if I'm looking for the shorts right now, I know that market is telling me bullish, but I know that there is an opportunity for shorts in any type of market. There's an opportunity for longs in any type of market. The question becomes, which one has that edge? Which one has the higher probability? So right now, what could flip it? Hormuz tensions and elevated oil are fueling inflation and yield concerns. The flip factor MRKT is tracking. So yields start moving higher. Inflation, oil starts moving higher. Guess what? I'm going to take a look at oil and see. Now, I got a notification last night, so I already know. Oil is above where I wanted it to be. Take a look at this right here, guys. Bang. This was my line in the sand on oil for us to scale above, right above this zone right here. And we were able to break it overnight yesterday. So what I want to know, now guess what? We could come back to market. We could ask market, Ready? We're going to ask it, what happened to oil last night? What happened to crude oil futures last night that it had such a bullish move? Still can find the indicator, man. It's, bro, I don't know why some people were able to find it easy. Some people are having a problem with it. I got people in my community too that are like, I can't find it. And then I have like 50 people that are already using it. So I have no idea. Might just be a trading view thing. I'd say maybe reset your trading view. If that doesn't work, I'll see what I could do on my side. Gold shine blinded me. Can I open? I want to. Yo, Pranay, you might be new around here, but we don't answer people with caps locks on. I don't answer people yelling at me in the chat. So you turn that off and come ask a question, and I absolutely gotcha. So let's see what was impacting oil today, right? Crude oil is bearish, but we see that the price action is trying to flip more bullish. So again, we had the market sentiment giving us that higher time frame. So if we do look at oil, it is still lower than where we were just a month or two ago. However, we are seeing that intraday bull move. We're seeing even that daily time frame trying to break those recent highs. You see I wrote here line in the sand. We covered that yesterday. Broke above it. I'd like to see, does oil want to retrace or does oil stay higher? If oil stays higher, that is one of the few things that is actually going to be one of the reasons that I look for the short. If I know oil's moving higher, I know institutions are seeing that as, oh crap, oil's higher, that's going to bring inflation up or at least slow down inflation's cooling that we've been seeing. And that's going to impact the Fed stance. And that might even, if it does move higher on inflation, that might even impact the Fed to say we have to reconsider rate hikes again. And that's going to bring markets into turmoil. And that's when we start seeing things price in. Awesome. Morning, Andrea. What's going on? Didn't realize I was on PC. No problem. No problem. Good morning, Elsa. Good morning. Good morning. Awesome. Let's see. So, what drove oil overnight? Armed boarding of a vessel off Yemen, Red Sea shipping disruption raising oil war premium, drone attack on Romanian's Black Sea gas projects, okay, F-16 intercepted, heightened energy infrastructure risk. European gas surges $65, tighter winter supply supporting broader energy complex. So here's where we hear things about energy. We hear things about oil. If energy's higher, big companies, these massive companies that are within the NASDAQ, within the S&P 500, have to pay more because a lot of them are growth and tech. They require a lot of energy. If they have to pay more, they push that paying more onto the consumer because they don't want to pay more out of their own pocket. They'd rather pass that along to you. You pay it for them. But guess what? That circles back to inflation. Oh, gas prices are higher. Energy prices are higher. Now my subscriptions cost more. Now my imports and exports cost more. Now inflation is rising. Now interest rate hikes. It's going to get even more expensive to borrow money. Squeezing market conditions. Right now, that hasn't fully happened yet, but we're seeing it in real time right now. Let's see, Kevin, regarding your comments about oil going up and how people will think about inflation is going to move, how come they think these moves that happen on the intraday time frame such an effect? So, yes and no, right? Intraday time frame and higher time frame, right? So intraday time frame, we're really referring to like a 5-minute time frame movement. In 5-minute time frame, sure, we were bullish on oil, but if we zoom out here, it wasn't just the 5-minute, right? We've been seeing oil try to rally. Let's find the beginning of the month. So here is August 3rd, the first trading day of the month. We are currently up 10% on oil right now. Again, it's not the biggest. We're not all the way up at $100 a barrel again. However, we're still within this range. We're still seeing elevated oil prices, and it's going to give us that follow through and pullback. So I do want to be, again, very careful, bullish on oil at the moment, seeing that things are starting to pick up again globally. Now, remember, we were looking at things right here, drone attack in Romania, European gas, broadening vessels off Yemen, right? All over the place. Gaza ceasefire talks under threat. Like everywhere. It's a global conflicts right now that's causing oil to move higher, which again will have that ripple effect onto the S&P and NASDAQ. Awesome, guys. Beautiful. Great start so far. And it brings up the headlines. Egypt, Qatar, Turkey says Israeli attacks threaten Gaza ceasefire efforts. Turkey, Egypt strongly condemn recent Israeli attacks in Gaza, express deep concerns over ongoing violations. These are not good headlines if we're looking to be bullish in the market. These are bullish headlines for oil, for energy, because it's tampering with the supply. When it tampers with the supply, no matter if it's the real estate market, the energy market, the oil market, the gas market, the stock market, you tamper with supply, things get more expensive because you don't have the same amount to give out anymore. You're limiting what your supply recently was. Now, we're not limiting it by, 5%, 2%. 20% of the global oil supply chain comes right out of the Strait of Hormuz. So we've had that impact for so long now. It's impacting longer and longer and longer, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. Like Jeev has said in the past, like Nalab has said in the past, when was the last time you saw a war that started and ended in 3 months? You haven't. Here we are, when did the war start in February? Here we are 6 months later. Things are still escalating. Markets are still ping-ponging. We were able to make our way to new all-time highs recently on the S&P. NASDAQ failed those all-time highs, and things are starting to circle back again. Iran may do some offensive thing in coming weeks. They can't withstand the economic pressure Trump is pushing. Yeah, I know. Trump also had, let's see, ready? Look how cool this is. Let's ask market. Can you pull up any recent Trump headlines from overnight? Beautiful, guys. A great overnight analysis. As you guys see in the top over here, this is our overnight and macro context right here. Thinking, composing your answer, searching headlines, Trump. Perfect. Trump may order intensive attacks on Iran if economic pressure fails. Trump says Iran deal prospects are weak. Trump freezes Iran talks for weeks. 4 hours ago, he freezes talks. This is not a optimistic headline, right? We talk about optimism, uncertainty, surprise. This definitely isn't optimistic. This is uncertainty right here. Why is it uncertainty and not surprise? Because if it was a surprise, it would be something a lot stronger. This is uncertainty because Trump could say, I'm freezing talks for weeks, and we should know by now. He could say that right now, 4 hours ago, and then in 2 hours from now go, we're having great talks with them. Like, it's very ping-pongy. So this is bringing more uncertainty into the market. Now, again, I always tell you guys, when you hear uncertainty, and we're referring to the stock market, whether it's ES, NQ, even gold, uncertainty is something that people take their money out of. If I'm an investor and I just saw a headline that brings uncertainty to the market, I'm taking my millions out. I want to be patient. I want to sit sidelined until I get more certainty. I don't want to put my money at risk with uncertainty. I want to put my money at risk when there's a bit more certainty and optimism. Now, obviously, nothing in life is certain, especially when we're talking about the stock market. However, there is optimistic market conditions. And we've seen that, guys. If you're here on market in the morning every day, you've seen all these different types of conditions before. Key themes. This is cool too, man. It doesn't just search the headlines, it gives you key themes. Trump froze Iran talks for weeks, signaling prolonged conflict and tighter sanctions. Calls deal prospects weak and may order intensive attacks if economic pressures fail. Iran pushback intensifies. Iranian lawmaker threatened NPT withdrawal in response to Trump's economic D-Day. Foreign minister calling it a path to further U.S. defeat. I'm going to keep my opinions out of it because we don't want to get political here on Market in the Morning, but somebody's keep putting their foot in their mouth. I won't say who. Trump said he already... Bro, I know, man. I know. Somebody has to tell everybody else. Trump's Iran economic plan hinges on Dubai's support. UAE crackdown materially escalates sanctions pressures. Crypto regulatory clarity. Crypto doesn't have that big of an impact. Trump called on Congress to pass Crypto Clarity Act. I do remember seeing this. Nothing I'd consider like, oh, this is going to move ES and NQ. It did move Bitcoin and Ethereum very well, but this is not something that's going to be impacting the markets that we trade. It's not going to impact gold. It's not going to impact ES or NQ or oil. It's going to impact crypto, and that's it. Market impact: the Iran escalation fueled the overnight oil bid and risk off positioning. The crypto push lifted digital assets. These align with geopolitical risk premium embedded in ES reversal tag. Guys, look how cool that is. These align with the geopolitical risk premium embedded in ES reversal risk tag. That's what we were talking about before when we were looking at the ES. Let's see, look, we were looking at the ES, it's bullish. When we look at our dashboard, it's bullish with reversal risk. Why? Let's click it. Hormuz tensions and higher oil fuel inflation and yield worries. Click it, it brings it down for us. If you want, we can hit explain. Right now, what is today? Guys, today is Thursday. We did have initial jobless claims about 7 minutes ago. Before we even pull it up, I'm going to tell you it's probably within range. And if it wasn't, it's not giving us the biggest of impacts. But let's take a look. Could be wrong. Nope. Prior 209,000. Minimum 198, maximum 216. It came out at 206. That is right within range. Not on forecast, but within range. We could hit this analyze icon. And what we see on an asset like NQ, it came in below, is a bearish reaction. So a bearish reaction on ES and NQ. So this does support more of a more selling pressure on the S&P and NASDAQ today. So like I mentioned, I'm looking to see if price can retrace towards 7,700, possible short position right over here. Previous day low level is there. A support area from yesterday is there. We have a lot lining up in that point. If we don't get that pullback, I would just like to see some continuation back to the downside and even see if we could possibly head towards 76.37. But for now, we're going to be patient, see if we want to retest that previous day low level and this area that was support from yesterday. So that's what I'm looking for on ES and NQ right now. Actually, this is not the Kev indicator. I got to pull that up. Like, it should pull up, guys. It should pull up. 33 people on it right now. There it is. Beautiful. Golden out. Yo, Tomas, man, you got to turn those caps locks off, bro. I don't hear it. I can't read it. I'm legally blind when you guys put the caps locks on. So let's go over gold. I'm sure there's some people in here that are interested in gold. What's up, Jermaine? Good morning. Matt, good morning. I used the link in your Discord and it worked. Okay, cool. Awesome, guys. So let's take a look at gold. Gold also seeing a bit of a pullback. Now, this is going to be giving us that pullback because of the same oil conditions, right? Now, let's ask market and let's prepare for gold. Ready? Help me prepare for gold. Give me its analysis and give me the fundamentals and what could flip the bias. Now, I do want to make sure I'm clear with it. So prepare for gold futures. Could be CFDs as well, but regardless, it's going to give us the same economic and fundamental reasoning. Guys, if you're here, make sure you smash that like button. Once we hit 100 likes, we'll do a free 1-month giveaway of MRKT, so show some love there. You don't see the Kev indicator? Try one word. If it doesn't work, though, let me know. I'm probably going to send it out. I got to make an updated version of it anyways, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. Gold futures are bullish at 45.14. 45.14. Gold holds near recent highs as weaker dollar and softer yield support. So a bit of the same situation and same reasoning behind why ES and NQ were bullish. But again, yield starting to sort of tamper around, might not really see that. So what's powering gold? Dovish Fed repricing. Traders trimming rate hike expectations through mid-2027. That gives us a lot of time, right? That could give investors the optimism they need to say, okay, I could start to hold now. Before we do get on this next part, let's go through our levels and trade setups. Look at that. We're changing the tabs around up there. Treasury pullback easing long-term yields reduces real rate headwinds. Weaker dollar at 3-month low. So let's take a look at the dollar. Fed's daily. Fed really has to focus on achieving its inflation target. Nothing that's going to massively impact us right now. Take a look at the dollar here. First off, that's great how good this indicator works even on the dollar. Coming near an area of resistance. If the dollar, take a look at this, guys. We've rejected this area a few times now. This is Wednesday. We pushed lower from it, pushed lower from it, pushed lower from it. I'd want to see if the dollar wants to come back towards 98 and push lower from it. If we do find that resistance on the dollar, you guys already know. We find resistance on the dollar, I'm going to be looking for those longs on gold. So that's trade setup number one with using the dollar. If we do come back towards this area that we found support just very recently, we try to find support again to the upside, that would help us on a more bearish move on gold. But let's pull up gold right now and really see what's going on. So we'll put GC on the left-hand side. We'll put XAU USD on the right-hand side. I'm going to put this entire layout. XAU USD. Alrighty. XAU USD. Let's delete this big supply zone to daily. We can delete that, no longer relevant. Wow, that's amazing. You know, first thing I see when I'm pulling up this GC chart might look a mess, and that's fine because we're going to delete some of this right now. Clean chart is a happy chart. Remember that. Look at the support. We're finding support right in this area here. 15-minute demand on that Kev indicator, trying to hold up. Helps me with the bullish bias that MRKT gave me. Let's look at our bias. Select asset gold. Now we're going over, this is the GC chart, but if you trade CFDs like XAU USD, it's going to give you the same bias and levels are going to be very similar. At least the areas are going to be similar. The price level itself is going to be a little different from GC to XAU USD. So the bias on GC, bullish, continuation. Let's hit Y. Traders trim expectations for Fed rate decisions through mid-2027. We know this? Great, that's helping support it. But what could flip it? Trump's escalation economic warfare on Iran raises oil disruption and inflation risks. It's crazy, man. He's trying to make this huge impact, this huge economic impact on Iran, when all it's doing is making a larger impact on the entire world, on every nation. And it's going to impact how our trade partners see us, respect us, and do deals with us. It's going to impact how inflation is, not for the US, not just for Canada, not just for China, not just for everybody. Everybody uses oil, everybody uses energy. This is a global economic disaster, really. So traders trim expectations, treasury bond pullback, Trump's escalation economic warfare could flip it. Tanker incidents near Gulf of Aden and Yemen escalate energy shipping risks. You know, I can, but look, it does give you the assets right here. Let me see. Could probably just make it a little smaller like that. All right, you guys let me know. Ready? Boom. Is that better? You let me know if that's better, guys. And if you haven't already, man, smash that like button. Let's have fun today. Let's make some money today. Let's absolutely kill it. I do like where gold is holding right now. If we do want to find some support over here for possible longs, even first longs targeting VWAP, would like to see, you guys know me by now, right? Talk about low-hanging fruit in the market. Well, take a look at this. First off, we have a a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. Look at all these lower highs hanging around very close to each other. This is a liquidity sweep area. Guys, look at that. That gold long would have been triggered. If you guys are in it, go for it. Risk only what you're willing to lose on every trade setup that you take. This does look like it could pan out to be a 4-to-1 possible trade setup right here on GC. Take it as you please. Top left seems more ideal. Been messing with me, OCD. Top left, what do you mean? Like where the market logo is over there? Or where it is right here with the levels and trade setups? Let me know. We're a community here. You guys have every say. Something else I want to point out, look at this 20% level. I'm going to make the text a little larger here. This is that negative 20% pullback level on gold from its all-time highs. So look, 20% right there. So this is a key level, very strong key level. But if we're also looking at the daily time frame right here, look at how strong this bullish move was. We already took out our previous day high. We are below our current open price. So it does tell me that we're in probably a good opportunity to try to buy. And if we do get in over here, look at that. We could even try to target that open price level. That's now a 6-to-1. We're able to extend that take profit. So it does look good on gold. I would possibly consider this trade. I did not get triggered myself. If you guys are looking for it, I do think this is a pretty solid area. Pushed into this zone, held, pulled back one more time, held again, showing buyers are active in this spot. Awesome. Beautiful. Session volume profile, just to get an idea. Value area low, so we are trading below the mass amount of volume that we've had. So if you did miss this entry down here and you're waiting for more strong confirmation, you might use this low volume area right here and say, okay, great. Well, if we could break above this zone, I'll look for a retest to go along, and that will be your trade setup. But right now, we're looking to buy the low, which is where we are right now, and get out near the highs. Awesome. Guys, beautiful, great, amazing. Guys, let me know if you have any questions so far. I'm in 44.53, the double bottom, 44.53. Okay, so you're in XAU. Let's look at XAU. Like I mentioned, same level, right? Same 15-minute. I believe it was a 30-minute. Nope, 15-minute on GC as well. Trying to hold. It retested it, and boom, look at that, guys. Nice trade setup call out on GC today, right off the bat. Already in profit on that. Again, I'm not in it myself. Does that mean it's a bad trade? No, it just means I missed my entry. I do think gold is a much easier trend trade today than the ES and NQ. A lot more is supporting gold than the S&P and NASDAQ, which the S&P and NASDAQ are running more into a bit of a wall, especially because of the whole inflation fears. So XAU USD, same support area, looking to target possibly near, even look at that 4,500 key psychological level right up here. 44.53 double bottom on a 5-minute. Good job, Ibrahim. Good job. Yep, I see it. I see it, bro. Look at that. Boom, boom. Double bottom in a support, holding up. You got in at 44.53, but he got in all the way. All the way. Oh my goodness, bro. Would you bottom tick gold over here? Amazing. Amazing entry. Good work. Well done. Well done. Good job. What was your entry criteria on that? Send a screenshot in the market, in the MRKT community over here. I'm going to send you guys the link to that. So look, guys, we have a free Discord, Market AI Discord. I'm going to send you guys the link to that right now. I want you to join it and drop a message in the general chat. Amazing. Yeah, well positioned indeed. Very good. Look at that pump immediately. Amazing momentum. And something else to point out, volume picked up as we were pushing lower into this zone, and price did not push any lower with that volume, which tells me that the selling volume was met with the buying volume, and those buyers superseded those sellers because they were able to absorb all the selling volume, and price failed to go anywhere, which means there were more buyers in the market at that point. Because if we can't go down, there's only one other direction markets can go, and that's up. So that's our first gold trade set up. Amazing right there. I love that Kev indicator matched my own levels on the chart. Amazing tool, man. Yo, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. Happy to help. I hope you were able to figure it out and find the indicator. If not, we'll figure it out after the show. Shoot me a message. You guys have my Instagram. You have my DMs. Trading with Kev. Shoot me a message. Always happy to help you guys. Alrighty. So, we looked at XAU. We looked at GC. We looked at how great these buying opportunities were starting to present. And look at that. These buyers continuing. Guys, we called that out for free here on Market in the Morning. That is amazing. No drawdown trades. So this entry point that was triggered, immediately into profit. Immediately, bro. Amazing. Amazing. Now let's take a look at the dollar. I'd also want to take a look at what the dollar's doing right now. Also, I do want to see this daily supply. Why is that not on XAU over here? XAU. Oh, because we broke it and closed above it. Gotcha. We didn't break it on GC. Interesting. Boom, 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 boom. W's in the chat. Let's take a look at NASDAQ now, guys. I'm sure a lot of NASDAQ traders in here. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Let's break down some levels and some areas. First thing I note here on the 30-minute time frame, let's actually put our live news up over here so we're not missing anything. Breaking news only. Fantastic. Okay, so this 30-minute, look at this 30-minute support. Acted as support multiple times. Support, this whole area was support. Price failed to move any lower. And then, let's see what happened. Came into it again. Support, 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 support. And now here we are breaking it. So now this area that was support this whole time, I'm looking to see it come back and act as resistance. Can we come back and act as resistance here on 29,450, 29,500? Take a look at our market terminal. Now we could ask market to help us prepare for the NASDAQ. Great, now I need your help preparing to trade the NQ today. Great, now I need your help preparing to trade the NQ today. Perfect. Guys, cheers everybody. Amazing. Great breakdown so far. Amazing episode. I need you guys to run that like button up. Even hit the share button. If you hit the share button and hit copy link, the algo still recognizes it as a share. So do me a favor, show some support, show some love. Do that right now for me. If you haven't, also hit the like button. Yo, what's up, Holy Proxy? What's going on, homie? Dude, Kevin, your commentary on the market is straight fire. Commentary gets me inspired to trade every time. You have a gift for this, man. Keep it up. Oh, brother, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. That one's getting screenshotted and pinned to the fridge. No, but I do appreciate it. I love what I do. I love helping people. I love markets. I love just streaming as well. I've been doing this type of streams for over 3 years now. Been trading for over 6, almost 7. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. Absolutely. All right. NASDAQ holds slight bid as Treasury buybacks offset surging U.S. debt worries. Look at that. Now, this is something that I did see yesterday. The U.S. national debt, and I think Yusuf actually made a joke about it with Elsa. The U.S. national debt is just reached $40 trillion? Like, what? That's crazy. And yet the IRS wants my money, huh? Yo, go collect somebody else's money. Because let's see. So what's powering the bid? So whenever you hear something about like we caught a bid in the market, or what's powering the bid is the people that are buying. So the bid is buyers. So Treasury buybacks pulling back long-dated yields lower rates for growth valuation. That is amazing. Global bond rally and lower real rates lift tech multiples. Again, that's a positive, but it's not really seeing the follow through right now. We know that because we just went over oil. We just went over a lot of these assets. Fed holds steady as inflation trend softens from earlier highs. Okay, flip watch, bearish triggers. Iran tensions and higher oil prices. Boom, guess what? This possible trigger is being pulled. It's being squeezed. The gun that has these bullets, think of these as bullets, and we're seeing it as a trigger. Are we pulling the trigger? Guess what? Somebody just shot the gun of higher oil prices, higher inflation worry, unsettled growth outlook via inflation and real yields channel. Regime, oil, inflation passed through the 0.74 weight. Amazing. I'll give you a like if you move the label on the left. Bro, I moved the label on the... Oh, did I move the other label? No, I moved both labels. Yeah, I made this label smaller. Look, it ain't blocking anything. What are you complaining about? But we'll keep it off for now. All right, China eases NVIDIA H200 export curbs, pressures US and AI chip leaders, undermining the AI capex pillar. That's huge. Day plan. This is cool. Day plan. Bulls above 28,950 pullback. Below that opens 28,850 to 28,900. Upside confirmation at 29,750. Break of 29,425 to 29,480. Resistance zone accelerates the continuation. The regime notes oil scare is intermittently risk off for NASDAQ. I've been telling you guys that, and now Ask Market is telling you guys that as well. So there's your confluence in the narrative of the market. How about the label gets merged with the ticker on the bottom? Which ticker on the bottom? With the maybe a static label on the left of the ticker. Oh, you. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out with you guys. So let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. So if we had our levels label, so look, it's not market. It's not missing out on the NQ. You could see that barely blocking the screen right there. I think that's better. I'll fix all the other ones to look like that too. I mean, the subtitles moving on the. Like down over here. Possibly. I feel like that would get lost in the sauce. I feel like we wouldn't really be able to notice that. All right, so NQ. Let's see where our NQ levels match up with our market levels, our MRKT levels. So I do have a key level 29,430. We have 29,425. Look at this. 29,425 to 480. 420. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to click that, but that's pretty cool too. We'll ask it that as well. 425 to 480. 425 over here. 425, right with my key level, to 480, right with this key area. That's huge. This is a great confluence level to say we are going to possibly find a reaction to this zone. You like the labels, Elsa? I appreciate it. Something like a new graphics. Yeah, we'll see. I'll work on it. I appreciate the feedback. I will work on it. I'll probably make them all like this size and keep them there. Or if anything, I can make it more boxy, like my screen is right here, so that it fits. And I'll show you what I'm thinking of. Transform. Let's move this a little bit. So it's like, like this right here, I feel like is too small. You guys can't read that. But I could make it a bit more boxy, make the text larger. Maybe that's something that I'll do for you guys. Again, make it easier for you to read. But the whole point of having these labels up here is so that if somebody's replaying the market in the morning stream, they're able to actually see were we holding, were we rejecting, or I'm sorry, not even that. We'll be able to see what we're talking about. So you could fast forward. You could say, okay, this is him going over levels and trade setups. Then after that, we're going to go over strategy and discipline check. Make sure we're all on the right track. Maybe final prep and mental reset. Make sure we're on the right mindset before we trade. But we'll see. We'll see. Don't read loud. Oh my god. First off, W to Yusuf for telling me to don't read out loud, because you're a legend for that. You know I'll just read anything you guys give me. Now, as for this level on NASDAQ, because it lines up with that market level, because it lines up with a whole lot, we could also put our Fibonacci tool from high to low of this move. And yo, you guys just saw me map this out live right here. 61%. It literally is lining up right with that short position tool that I had marked out. And it's lining up right at that 29,450 area. And that is right within, where's that on NASDAQ? 450. That's right in the middle of that break of range, that resistance point that MRKT gave us. That is beautiful. That's a lot of confluence going on there. So this is what I'm looking for on NASDAQ today. Can we find those shorts? I do want to also update our previous day high, previous day low levels. Make sure we're aware of those. Previous day high. This is our previous week low. We're below it already. We're going to update that to be our previous day low. So we're aware of that level. We've already broken previous day low. And what do we see? What do we see right here, guys, in the past 4 trading days of the NASDAQ? Bearish, 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 bearish. My Discord isn't working for some reason. Can I send the TradingView link here? So unfortunately not. Unfortunately, I don't think YouTube allows you to send links. So just a heads up on that, just so you know. So seeing a bit more of a bearish shift in the NASDAQ. Now, I tell you guys all the time about the whole line in the sand situation. My line in the sand on NASDAQ is right down here at 29,241. We're going to make this a bit more apparent, a bit more obvious. We'll call it our line in the sand. Change the text. We'll make it like yellow. I don't have too much yellow levels on here, so we can make it stand out with that yellow. Yellow, line in the sand. You get it, because... Yo, we did break it. We did break it by a little bit. Broke it by about a tick there. So, looking for possible shorts on NASDAQ. And guess what, guys? We want to be... Oh, why? Is gold doing something? GC, boom. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is amazing. Where's my Kev indicator? Oh, so something real quick, guys. If you're on the 30-minute time frame, it's not going to show 15-minute zones. You have to go down to a 15-minute for it to show those 15-minute areas, because it can't look at lower levels if it's breaking down or breaking out. Guys, this is amazing. Amazing. Guys, who took this gold long trade? That is fire right there. Right back to this range. This could be TP1 with this old support becomes resistance. We already broke it, though. So it does tell me we have some nice momentum. That's amazing, guys. Great way to start the day. That's what's up. That is what's up. See, it looks like we have a headline. Yeah, you took that? Let's go. Let's go. Lisa, you took that too? Let's go. Yusuf, Lisa, killing it. Ibrahim, you also, I know you were long too. W's. Let's find that round of applause. Good job, everybody. Again, considering taking profit here, this is 20 points in the money on GC. This would be locking in a 2.4 to 1 right there. I'd want to see if we could come head towards these lower highs that we had, even towards the top of the range, right over here. 45.26. Into gold longs, W's, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amazing. Hey, Ed Sarah, let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, guys. Well done. Well done. Well done. Beautiful. Beautiful. NASDAQ pulling back. It's 904 right now. If you guys want me to cover any assets, let me know. Took the gold buys up 250 pips. W's in the chat. Let's pull up gold over here. This is amazing. Guys, it's cool. Eric, also 7 points on GC. Oh my god, you guys are making it rain right now in gold. We're all making it rain on gold. That setup was top tier. That setup was a W. Why was that setup so great? For multiple reasons. We had our 15-minute support area from yesterday where price moved higher yesterday. We came back to it. Those buyers were still active, gave us the reaction. What else do we have? We had our market fundamental bias, giving us more of a bullish bias on gold. Let's pull that up right now. Gold futures, here we go. Bullish bias on gold. And we also noted that gold had a much stronger bias than the other assets. ES, NQ, GC had a much stronger trend. Christy, 2 to 1 on MGC. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Wow, a lot of you guys took that gold trade. That is amazing. I missed it because of a smoke break, bro. You can't take a smoke break when you're trading. That's supposed to be before you trade. Boom, I hope you guys locked in some profit up here. We're seeing a little bit of a pullback right now. The gold buys calls by Kev is S tier setup. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, I'd consider taking profit here. Again, locking in that 2 to 1. And then maybe looking for a full TP at this 4 to 1 up here. Good job, good job. I'm having a no trade day, no FOMO from me though. Good. Listen, even if you missed this trade, right? I told you guys, I'm not in this trade myself, but I'm not stressing about it. That's fine. It was still a great call out. I'm glad that you guys were able to take some profits from it. That's what I'm talking about. Community. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Look at this GC trying to continue here. Good volume. Check this out. Look at the volume picking up right here. Seb, what's up, Seb? What's going on, homie? We just called out some great gold longs, bro. Are you in any gold longs right now? Look at this volume picking up right here at this resistance point. Again, this is one of the main reasons I'd look to even take profit one right here, looking at this reaction. Let's go. I called that on CF as well. Bro, let's go, dude. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. What was your confluence? What was your confirmation and reason to take gold long at this area? What we were looking at was we had this 15-minute support area from yesterday. It held price higher yesterday. We came back into it. We had the double bottom. Now, when we were looking at gold at first, we were literally forming this candle outside. We closed outside. So said, let's look for a possible retest to this zone. The next candle gave us that retest. Watch this. Next candle, boom, wick into it, tap into our entry, retest, stop near the low, and then boom, we just end up continuing. Boom. Dinner bands, cheat days in trading are just watching markets and doing nothing, and basically just hang out. Yeah, exactly. A cheat day for markets is watching it and not taking any trades. That's good. You know what? That's not even a cheat day. That's a stress-free day right there. That is a mind over matter day where you're saying, I'm going to watch markets, see how market structure's forming, look for my setups, but not take anything because maybe I hit my daily loss limit yesterday and need to slow down. Maybe I hit my daily profit yesterday and need to slow down. Whatever the case may be. Seb had market bias bullish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had that too. Market bias bullish. Yup. Correction after highs. Okay. New York volume. There we go. Double bottom. Hey, same double bottom. That's amazing. That's amazing. Or should I say breakfast bands maybe? There we go. There we go. US 30. We can look at the Dow. Give me a strong rundown on what's going on with the Dow. And help me prepare for today. With the Dow. Help me prepare. Perfect, guys. Guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. If we run it to 100 likes, we'll do a free 1-month giveaway of MRKT. So right now, we're probably chilling around 30. I'm going to check it right now. Don't disappoint me, guys. Run that up. 35. Okay, good. We're already near 40. Run that towards 50. Let's see. Good job. Good job. Let's see. US 30. We're checking that out right now. Look at this. Market is breaking it down for us. Amazing. What a breakdown, man. Talk about an in-depth breakdown. Kevin, why have you marked out your TP on gold above your indicator level? So I was looking to see us take these highs out. Now, this indicator level, this was a 30-minute support. We see that like right over here, but it was already broken. So a lot of times when I see a support broken like that, I do like to use it as resistance. So you're absolutely right? Usually we want to trade it level to level. I was looking to see if we had the right possible stronger bullish bias. Did mention, try to take profit up here if you can. So be a little careful. Again, I'm not in this trade myself. I wanted to see that overall market AI sentiment hold bullish. I wanted to see that follow through. We are, though, like I mentioned just before, getting that volume increase at a resistance point. So might want to look to lock in some profits up here, guys. But we'll see. Amazing, guys. Amazing. If you guys want to look at anything, let me know. I'm going to pull up MRKT one more time, and we're going to take a look at some of the bias on the Dow for our homie asking about US 30. Dow futures are bullish around 53,100, targeting 53,600 on a soft growth, dovish Fed rotation into value and defensives, but carrying reversal risk as elevated bond yields and Middle East tensions linger. So everything is really trying and holding on very closely to that reversal risk because of all those tensions picking back up. All right, so what's powering the Dow? Fed hike odds trimmed after soft jobs and CPI. Easier financial conditions support rate-sensitive Dow components. This is a good sign, right? We want Fed rate hike odds trimmed. We want them to not cut rates, to feel confident that we could hold rates or even start to cut rates at some point. We do not want them to hike rates. Soft growth environment boosts appeal of defensive cyclicals and value over crowded AI and growth. So, right, what we'll see sometimes, and I'll show you guys right now on the chart, we have NASDAQ right here on the left side, and then we're going to pull up the YM, which is the Dow Jones, on the right. And what we might see, take a look at our daily. Now, right now, they're trading a bit more together, but not so much. Look at this. Look at this. Is seeing a bit of a deeper pullback here on the industrials. Interesting. Very interesting. Daily supply formed here. Now, this is where things were a little different. Dow made a new high, new all-time high up here, 54,800. NASDAQ failed to get even close to those highs. It hit highs around 30,340. Our all-time high would be around 31,120. So we have a ways to go on the Dow, and it's rejecting already. Excuse me, gang. Jeez. Need that caffeine, man. Gotta get some fuel in the tanker. But let's take a look at the Dow. Now, because it is rate sensitive and we know inflation is moving higher, that's going to have a more bearish impact on the Dow. We are in a support area right here. Let's take a look at our 15-minute, see if there's any old support becomes resistance. Look at this 15-minute supply up here, acted as resistance already. We could throw our fib tool up here for an optimal trade entry from high to low of this trend. And oh my god, look at this again. Again, it is lining up right with this old support area. This was support. Look at how well this worked as support multiple times over the past few days. Now we broke through it. We would want to see that area act as resistance. And not only that, it is hitting that 61%, that 61 to 78% on our fib tool. That is an optimal trade entry. OTE for short. So if you're looking for the Dow, this might be a nice little pullback area right up here. Now we could also, like we like to look at a volume profile. So indicators, SVP, session volume profile. You guys know I was teaching you guys how to use the anchored volume profile. They have a session volume profile indicator that automatically plots it for us. So it does make it a little bit easier. And look at this. Again, a little bit of a volume imbalance right above that area. So I'd want to see price pull back, ricochet into the zone, and have a fast reaction. Once we get that immediate reaction, shorts get triggered, stop above that recent high, and then we're looking for a nice risk-reward trade, right? And guess what? If that stops out, you take a 1R loss, you look for your next 4-to-1 trade setup. That's what it's about, guys. Good risk management and good positioning. Because we aren't exciting enough. Yeah, guys, come on, pick it up. No, of course, you guys are way more exciting than me. But let's check it out. See, so that's the YM. If you guys have any questions on that, please let me know. Something I want to cover too, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this yesterday, but I could even go to my history and see what happened to Moderna yesterday. Did you guys see what happened to Moderna? It was up 176%. This isn't a meme coin. This isn't a crypto coin, a meme stock. This isn't a crypto coin. This is Moderna, a company. It's a medical company, biotechnology and healthcare. So Moderna is working with Merck to advance personalized cancer treatments. The companies are developing an investigational therapy to help people with melanoma stay cancer-free for longer. They ran it, and it showed very good results. So they went from $60 a share to $174 a share. A massive incline right there. Moderna is working with Merck to advance personal cancer treatment. The companies are developing investigational therapy to help people with melanoma stay cancer-free for longer. Anyone still holding gold until... Let's see, what's gold doing? GC, I think it's pulling back. Yeah, pulling back. If you're still in gold, I would be careful. I'd definitely consider possibly looking to get out, but be patient. If you have this bottom entry, then you're fine to sort of hold it and be patient, maybe even move your stop loss up a little bit. But that's why I like to have multiple take profit levels, because if I'm looking for this big 6-1 or 7-1 trade, but we come up near my 2-1 or my 3-1 area, then yeah, I want to be a bit more patient and be a bit more disciplined and less greedy to say, okay, this is an area we're seeing a rejection. I want to get out. New York volume is crazy. I'd rather enter again after the bell. Agreed. Guys, I gotta cheers it, man. I gotta get some wings going here, so we're ready for New York Session Open. We open in about, what do we open? We open in about 14 minutes here. 14 minutes. Let me know what you guys are trading. If you guys are in any trades, I'm gonna put a poll up over here so we could have a little fun. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Are you bullish, bearish? Are you bullish or bearish on gold today? Now, we already called out this great gold double bottom over here, printed a 2-1. Now, the question is, are you bullish that we see continuation? Are you bearish that we end up selling back below this low? Or do you think we go range bound between this 44.60 and 44.80? Comment 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish, and 3 for ranging. I'm bullish. I'm going to comment 1. But don't copy me. If you're bearish, let me know. And let me know why. Let me know why you're bullish or why you're bearish. Should I wait for open or go to bed early? Elsa, that is completely up to you. Do you think New York Open is going to give us a great setup? Or are you sitting out today anyways and should let yourself get some rest because you deserve it? Or do you want to stay here for market in the morning and have some fun because you're with your favorite person? So I don't know. Or maybe second favorite person. I can't say that because I know you guys are in HTL as well. Quick little update, guys. If you do use prop firms, I just want to let you guys know I got a discount code going for you guys for Tradeify. Use discount code TP, like take profit, TP, for 40% off. Very great sale right there. So definitely recommend. Tradeify is one of the better of prop firms. They have a fantastic payout measurement and way that they do pay out. So I do recommend them. And use code TP, take profit, TP, Trading Pioneers. That's my company. So TP for that. Bullish on XAU after a quick liquidity sweep. So, let me ask you, do you think when you say a bullish liquidity sweep, are you referring to this move we had to the downside that we held already? Or do you think that we're going to push lower and break these lows one more time and then reverse? Let me know your thoughts. Love Tradeify, actually. Yeah, Tradeify is amazing. Really great. Really, really great. Oh, and on top of that, guys, and I will keep you updated on this, I'm going to be doing a few Tradeify account giveaways very soon. I'll probably be doing some type of maybe like a Friday game night or something. Friday trading game night, and we'll do a big Kahoot, and the top winner will get a Tradeify account, and then the other two will get some Market AI accounts. We'll really set it up. We'll have some nice fun game nights for you. I think that's going to be really cool, very exciting, very engaging, and free for everybody to join. So I'll keep you guys posted on that when that is out and available and when you guys can come join it. Alrighty, let's see. We have New York Session opening in 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Last time for you guys to answer. Are you bullish or bearish on gold today? 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish, 3 for range bound. Right now, we pulled back and buyers are stepping right back in again. Sometimes I think people who look for liquidity sweeps at New York Session Open because they miss the entry happens to me as well. Yeah, that's really funny. Yep, analysis paralysis is real. Very, 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 very real. 100%. I know that happens to me all the time too, where I'm like, oh, okay, we had these longs in the, let's say this was the NASDAQ chart, right? And I'd be like, okay, I'm not going long here because it's pre-market. Then we end up holding. Then I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to get in at this point because I'll wait for New York's open to give me the retest. And then New York opens and we just like continue the rally. And it's like, oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. But we can't trade off a coulda, woulda, shoulda. What we can do when doing our journaling and reviewing our day is we could take that coulda, woulda, shoulda and put it into our system, put it into our plans, into our playbook so that we're prepared the next time it happens. We're not making that same mistake. If you keep making the same mistakes in the market, guess what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If you're not getting the results you're looking for in trading, but you're not making any changes to your trading, you're going to go insane. You're going to go nowhere fast. You're going to keep making the same problems, keep making the same execution styles, and it's not going to pan out well for you. Take advantage of seeing things happen in the market and adjust your trading accordingly. Us as traders, us as people, when trading these financial markets, have to be aware of that and have to be able to make changes. And I'm not saying that, oh, if you use supply and demand and then one day the demand zone breaks and it doesn't work today, don't use supply and demand anymore. No, adjust. If that demand zone failed, why did that demand zone fail? Did it fail and then we used it as resistance? Did it fail and then we swept and reversed to higher anyways and we used the bottom of it as a liquidity sweep? Why did it fail? How did it fail? And what did price do afterwards? That's how you're going to be able to then further adjust your execution going forward. I choose bullish, but I do think that there is every change for a pullback to 4,500. Okay, let's take a look at GC over here. Let's put GC up. I'm going to add an alert on NASDAQ at 29,450. Let's pull up GC. Bro, and all these liquidity levels too. So something else that I liked on gold today is when we were looking at the daily time frame, we already broke previous day high. Yesterday's candle was extremely bullish. And look at the volume we had yesterday on gold. That's follow through volume. Look at this day, we had a huge push higher. Then we had a little bit of a pullback, but then we had follow through. Push higher, good volume, pull back. I want to see follow through. So we're definitely not going short on gold. That's for sure. Whenever you're taking trades, whenever you're looking at the market, you want to try to position yourself from both sides. You want to be able to say, if I was a bull, where would my entry be and where would my stop loss be? If I was a bear, where would my entry be? Where would my stop loss be? And when you're able to find those areas, that's where you find the pain in the market. When we talk about pain in the market, we're not talking about, oh, I took a small stop loss. That's not pain. Pain is at extremes. Pain is where a majority is most likely placing their stops. Awesome, guys. Amazing. Guys, this has been a phenomenal breakdown today so far. I do hope you guys have enjoyed, have taken that gold long trade for a very nice quick move in that pre-market. Again, we're looking to lock in at that 2-to-1 over here. So that is very clean. I think stop loss was even a little higher, which made it that 2-to-1. But right now we're being patient. New York opens in about 5 minutes. So we will wait and see. NASDAQ, still waiting to see a pullback towards that optimal trade area and that broken support. Remember, if you don't use stop loss, they get... Yeah, listen, no stop loss, no loss. That's funny. That reminds me, whenever I see somebody trading without a stop loss, like on social media, I'll comment, and I'll be like, well, or if they're in the red and they're not stopping out, it's not a loss until you lock it in. But that's just a horrible... I don't want you guys to think that's legit. That is not legit. We do not want to trade with that mindset. Piyush, is this financial advice? There we go. That's amazing. You guys are too funny, man. Love these shows with you guys. This is a great community we're building here. Guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Run it up. Market in the morning. Join us every single day, Monday through Friday, 8:20 to 10:30 every single day. Taking a look at the VIX here. Now, VIX is also in an area of resistance, so I'd want to see the VIX reverse lower from here, which would ideally help ES and NQ move higher. So I do want to be a little careful with that. Something I will note, though, if we can break above this level here, 16 on the VIX, I'd look for VIX to continue higher, which would help support the shorts. So just a few things I'm looking at, keeping an eye on the VIX, keeping an eye on the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and of course gold. Let's take a look at ES one more time. Oh, look at that. ES hit that point and is already starting to reject. So this would be trade setup number one. Again, now when we look for trade setups, it's good that we give ourselves different opportunities. This is a 3.5 to 1. If this stops out, guess what? We look for the next trade setup over here, and because it's a higher area to enter, that gives us now a 6 to 1 or even a 5 to 1. So that 1 that we lost here gets made back and then some. And then vice versa. Let's say we break this with strength. VIX is reversing back lower. We flip our bias. We go back bullish because the market fundamentals were saying bullish too. And we take it long over here. Same situation where we take those longs, stop loss somewhere near the recent lows, and we look for a 2 to 1, a 3 to 1, something that is strong enough to make that loss back and then some. That is how you could be a stress-free trader. Sweet. How do you get access to your Discord and the indicator? Yo, I got you. Guys, I will send a link to my free Discord community. I go live there after market in the morning. So when I'm done here at 10:30, I take like 5-10 minutes, walk the dog, and then I go live there, go over some other tools, other analysis, but that is also where the indicator lives. So go join that free community. Always happy to help you guys and set you guys up for the best success and give you some good market breakdowns. Yeah, you got it. Absolutely, Henry. My pleasure. Now, something I am a little concerned about for ES versus NQ is NASDAQ. I wanted to see NASDAQ push a little higher, about 93 to 100 points back into this resistance point, whereas ES is already at that area. But if NASDAQ can pull back, ES can pull back, and we come back to this area over here, that lines up right with our VWAP. Our old support becomes resistance. Then we could look for price to move down. Oh, hey, yo, wait a minute. But I'm looking for that reaction there. We're looking for a pullback. We're looking for a good opportunity in these markets. Did you guys catch that? I always try to make you guys laugh. I want to see your dog feature on your Insta. Dog feature? You also have a dog. How do you guys know I have a dog? Where did I post that? What? That's wild. Did I say something that I had a dog? Oh yeah, duh. I said I walk my dog. Wow. That goes to show you the space in between my head is 100% trading and market related and 0% memory. Market told us. Yo, ask market. You go to ask market and you're like, what pets does Kevin have? And then it like pulls up actual images in my location. That's great. This is again also why I love doing shows and streams like this with you guys, is because we're building a community. We have fun, but we don't just have fun, we learn. We don't just learn, we have fun. It's something enjoyable. It's a cool process. Like somebody mentioned earlier, it's great just what did he say? Let's see if I could find it one more time. Scrolling back to comments. It's a Biggie reference right there. Yes, he said your commentary, right? Your commentary on the markets is straight fire, right? So you get good market commentary, you get engaging with the comments, and you just get some strong reasoning behind it. And it's a fun time too. So who could beat that? What beats that? All right, let's take a quick look. Markets opened. We're getting this move higher. I'm not taking any trades on ES just yet. Waiting for NASDAQ to pull back to that level. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is chopping. This would not tell me that sellers are taking control yet. ES, let's see. Struggling. NASDAQ rejecting. Okay, so look, this point right here, NASDAQ's rejecting it already. We did not make our way to the 50 or the 61% yet. I'm not in any trades right now myself. Age. Piyush, don't tell me I'm aging, bro. Don't tell me that. But I know I am. Guys, if you haven't already, man, run that like button up. We're chilling around 48 right now. Smash the like. Show some love. Let's make some money today. Let's be confident. Let's have fun. Now, let's also take a look at our equities. Now, equities, I also put that indicator on because I don't have the time to mark out 6 more charts of supply and demand. So I use my Kev indicator, and boom, it gives me my support, my resistance, my supply, my demand. Nvidia at support. Microsoft coming to this 30-minute support and holding. Apple pushing above its supply zone and trying to hold. Google is in a demand zone. So I'm seeing a lot of equities in support. I would not want to go short. And look at that. Boom. Moving higher from there. So that's great. That's amazing. I absolutely love that free tool. He hasn't had his energy drink yet today. Bro, I've been sipping on it, man. I gotta find a better energy drink. I hate how bad these are for you, but I need the caffeine. I need to wake me up. I can't do coffee, but it is what it is. You guys let me know. I'll shoot up some caffeine in the morning. When you use the volume profile, does price typically come back to the low volume zones or high volume zones, or both but different reasons? Great question. So when you're using a volume profile, let's pull up NASDAQ over here. Session volume profile. So a lot of times these areas of low volume act as imbalances. So when we see high volume, that's usually where price was ranging. Look, price was ranging up here. We have high volume up here. The reason that these go hand in hand is because the longer price stays within or at a specific level, the more volume is transacted at that level. The more volume that's transacted, the larger the volume profile is. So what happens also when we pull back towards these areas, I don't want to look for any trades. If we're trading right over here, I don't want to take any trades. We're trading right up in here, I don't want to take any trades. It's chop. We come back to these lower volume areas up here, I do want to look for a possible reaction or opportunity. Now, some people will use something called point of control, POC. POC on a volume profile is the highest volume node on the chart. So that would be all the way up here at 29,651. 29,651. I just realized. Oh, yeah, I have it right here. Orange mapped out. Previous day's point of control is 29,552. So some people, if you use volume profile, will use that previous day's point of control as a key level. So like yesterday, for example, let's see, New York session opened right up here. We opened right here. Previous day's point of control was right here, lined up with VWAP, and boom, we sold off right to that point of control on VWAP. NAS moving higher. A lot of equities trying to hold right now, so I would not be forcing any trades just yet. I will say Microsoft took a little bit of a hit right there, so that's a bit of a good sign, but nothing convincing enough to say, oh, Microsoft is selling off, I'm going to short NASDAQ. No, I want to see the rest of the equities start to get weak too. Nvidia is at a major level that was support yesterday. Take a look at this 2-hour on Nvidia, support, trying to hold up again as support. Look at this, trying to hold it up one more time. So that's now, boom, look at this. I just found my new line in the sand. If we break this level on Nvidia, yeah, I'm going to look for shorts on NASDAQ. If we hold this level on Nvidia, no way I'm going short on NASDAQ. Elsa, have a great night's sleep. Be well. Great having you in here every day. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Have a great evening. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Deidre, what's going on, Deidre? Good morning. How are you? Hello and welcome. So Nvidia held that area. Tag team, there you go. Google held that area, Nvidia held, Apple's rallying. I'm really not seeing a reason to go short. It does look like these buyers are trying to hold us to continue long. We tapped that line in the sand area and reversed on NASDAQ, coming up towards that 29,450 spot. I'm personally staying very patient at this point. Because look, VIX also reversed back lower. So I am seeing more bullish confirmations than bearish right now. So why would I want to jump in a short? Just because I did my pre-market analysis and I found this area ahead of time doesn't mean it's going to play out perfectly. We find these areas ahead of time so we could make the deciding factor to say, okay, here's my confirmations. It is looking like our equities are rejecting. Now I could take the short with some confidence. But right now, I don't know, man. We're going to have to see. We're pumping through with strength. Equities are holding with some strength right now, too. I'd really want to be a bit more patient. We could put our weighted index ticker on the bottom right over here and see how that's trading. That is trying to hold higher. Give it a moment and it will load in the Kev indicator for us, some supply and demand. Ooh, right off of a demand zone on that weighted index. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal right there, guys. Keep the VIX up for now. Perfect. ES continuing. Good buying pressure stepping into these markets. The Kevinator. Get to the market instead of get to the chopper. I know, I'm lame. I'm very lame. That's not the drum roll I was looking for. Coming up to VWAP, coming up to this area of resistance. I definitely would not look to go long at this point. Oh yeah, Kevinators. Mount up. The regulators, Kevinators. That's great. That is great. Now let's see. Is gold doing anything? Hey, there we go. There we go. Those gold buys continuing. Love to see it. That's great, guys. That's great. This gold longs, those were beautiful. We'll pull up XAU because it doesn't have that big daily supply that we're chilling in. It looks a bit cleaner here. Remember, we were looking to see if we could come sweep all these lower highs, these low-hanging fruit areas, and it looks like it's coming. Hey, SharePoint screen, what's going on, homie? Hi, I'm new here. Good morning, and welcome to Market in the Morning. We do this every single day. I host this show every day, 8:20 to 10:30. We start the shows off by going over our Market AI terminal, which gives us strong fundamental understanding and reasoning behind the moves. Then we break down some key levels, price targets, and what could be supporting it. But we are always killing it here. Rose at work, SharePoint screen. Nice. Absolutely, yeah. Let me know, what do you trade? Always introduce yourself. When you come in here, guys, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me who you are, what you trade, not what you are, but where you're from. I always like to know where people are from as well. Dude, this gold trade, bang! Guys, who's still holding gold? Who's still holding gold right now? Let me know. I gotta know, man. This thing's rallying. What a beautiful trade call out. Guys, if that doesn't warrant 100 likes on today's live stream, I don't know what does. Ibrahim still holding gold. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Minhal still holding. Mario, what's going on, Mario? I re-entered 4470. Bang! What a pullback entry. That's beautiful. Fair value gap area. So there we go. I want to point that out. Hold the line. Yes, sir. All right, so something I want to point out here with gold. Mr. Yusuf mentioned he re-entered 4470. Now, we had this support area that we held on GC. I don't know why it's not there right now. Why isn't it there right now? This 15-minute on the... Oh, I know why, because a new 30-minute formed. So this was a 15-minute, and I'll show you guys. I'll do replay mode so you guys can see it one more time. So it's going to form right here. So we had a 15-minute support. That was our entry for long. Now, because a new 30-minute formed, so look, that's our 30-minute order block that just formed right there. How great is that? Because that just formed, it deletes the old one and puts the new one there because they're overlapping. And I coded it with Claude. I told it, don't have overlapping zones. I don't want to see 40 different demand zones in the same spot. That's unnecessary. So what happened? Okay, now the point of me pulling all this up is to say we held it, we double bottomed, we moved higher, we created a fair value gap area, right? An area of a low volume imbalance because markets moved so fast above that. Now, because we held the demand, we tried shifting back higher. We did end up wicking this recent high over here. We pulled back and we started to respect that zone. Watch this. Boom, right there. We respected the zone. We held up. That could have been another entry point right there. So very cool. Very good. Amazing stuff. Gold is continuing. Great re-entry by Yusuf there. Good job, guys. Good work. W's in the chat. Hope you guys are absolutely printing today. Guys, last chance to vote right here. Are you bullish or bearish or ranging on gold? 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish, 3 for ranging. And then I'm going to take this pull down. NASDAQ is rejecting that Fibonacci level. And, ooh, but look at that. Boom. As I'm saying it, it's like, no, I'm not. I'll see you later. Take a look at our equities. This was one of the main reasons I was not looking for a long position anymore. NVIDIA held its support zone. Amazon struggling, did not find support, but it is trying to hold up. Google held support. Meta trying to hold. Microsoft trying to hold, and now Apple had this 30-minute supply that it is trying to hold as demand now. But Apple's in that rock and a hard place where we have resistance above us, support below us, but it's really NVIDIA that's telling me we're probably going to try to see some continuation. So I'm still not going short on NASDAQ, even though we are hitting my level right now. I'm looking at my confirmations that I use, and the confirmations are telling me no, sir, no short trade right here. If my confirmations aren't agreeing with my predetermined price level, you don't have a trade. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't make excuses. Alrighty, guys, let's see. Let's see. Locking in. 81% of you say bullish. You're correct. 13% of you say bearish. Get out of my stream. And 6% of you said ranging. No, I'm kidding. Don't get out of my stream. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. But great poll right there. Always fun. Always interactive. Let's close out replay mode. Look at this, guys. Gold continuing. Now here comes the question. Do we play out to that 4-1? And do we play out to that full TP at that 7-1 all the way at 45.27 on XAU? If we're looking at GC, let's take a look at GC on the left-hand side over here too. GC, I was looking for us to take out all of these low-hanging fruit areas and even make our way to the opening price today. That's a 6-1 from that original entry. Boom, there goes gold, another move higher. Guys, W's in the chat right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, hold up. Do I have sound effects? Let's see. Hold up, guys. It's the profit police. It's the profit police. They're here for our profits. Get out of here, Uncle Sam. Nah, good job, guys. W's in the chat. Amazing, amazing call out today on gold. From entry. There was not a lick of draw. There was drawdown from in profit, but there was no drawdown into the red on this trade, and that is phenomenal. It's the sound of, yo, Yusuf, bro, great music taste, man. Love the references. KRS-One, right? KRS-One, I think that's his name. Cheetan, what's going on, homie? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have fun here. We have fun and we learn. What better streams are out there? I'm literally asking you guys. Show me. Tell me another stream. Somebody else you've watched before. Give me some other ideas. I want to keep our stream number one, but I also want to just keep making it better and better. I am not one to settle and say, okay, great. We're here. We're staying here. Nah. We usually hit anywhere from 200 to maybe 300 people total plus in YouTube and Twitter for these market in the morning streams. I want us at 1,000. I want us at 2,000. I want to set you guys up for success. I want to set market up for success. I want to give everybody the best analysis and everything. Some other places where some guy sells me a $2,000 course, 100% win rate indicator. Oh, that sounds pretty good. That sounds like a great indicator right there. I'd love to buy that. Yo, that sounds funny. That's $2,000 for the indicator. I don't know if you saw my recent Instagram post on Trading with Kev. There's this guy on Instagram whose whole shtick is like saying how this strategy doesn't work, this strategy doesn't work, this doesn't work. Just, oh my God, everything doesn't work, right? And he's like, oh, exposing course sellers, exposing LARPers. Listen, I'm all for exposing people who don't do what they preach or don't have the experience that they claim to have or whatever the case may be and sell like a crazy expensive course. But yo, my guys, I have a masterclass. I'm not charging $2,000 for that. It's $500. It's extremely reasonable, and it's something that will help get you the proper head on your shoulders and give you some insights. I feel like charging $2,000 for a course like that is a little ridiculous. is it justifiable? Of course it is, because you could say, oh, well, it's my experience. I've been trading for 6 years. I could charge whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. But my goal is to not make it harder for you guys, to make it easier for you guys. I'm not going to make it free because my experience and education, I'm already giving you guys this for free. So I have to put a little something together. I'm still running a business, but I'm not going to be one of those assholes that's like, hey, give me $4,000 and I'll teach you trend lines. Have you guys ever seen that? I won't name drop her, but she's got a trend line, a trend line thing? You guys could drop her name in the comments if you want to. I won't. But she sells a trend line class, I guess, for like $7,000 or something like that. $7,000 to teach you how to draw trend lines. Like, talk about ridiculous, man. But yeah, it's all about putting the right pieces of the puzzle together, and I'm all for it, man. I'm always all for it. It's all always love. It's all always support. We're in this together. I hate when people are like, oh, see, I'm not saying the name. I'm not saying the name because I don't like to name drop like that. I'll only name drop if they name drop me first. Name and shame, you'll help others. Yep. All right, let's see. What's NASDAQ doing at this point? Anything? Okay, so NASDAQ did end up rejecting that point. I did not take that short trade. Right now, it is currently playing out. It is currently floating. Let's see how many points. It's currently floating 70 points, 74 points in profit right now off of that short level from the pre-market analysis. You guys let me know if any of you took that. I didn't take it myself. Now, something I want to mention too, guys, just because I do take a trade or I don't take a trade doesn't mean you have to take the same exact trade. If I come up with a pre-market plan and a level in an area and you're like, wow, that is spot on, that is a great area, I want to take that trade. And then by the time we get there, I'm over here like, oh, I'm not a big fan of it anymore because A, B, and C. But you're looking at it and you're like, what do you mean? You made such a good reason for it before. It was a great trade, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take it. By all means, take your trades. Your goal as a trader is to not find somebody to copy exactly. Your goal as a trader is to accomplish and create something repeatable. You want to be able to rely on yourself. Come into these market in the morning streams for the commentary, for different analysis, for different perspectives on the market, but you want to be the independent trader that you set out to be when you first started trading. That's the whole goal, is to be independent. Do you have Twitter? Yes, I do have Twitter. My Twitter handle is KevIndex. KevIndex. One word. X KevIndex. You guys go shoot that a follow. X is KevIndex. That was a play on words that we came up with. I was gonna change my wow, look at that short, man. That's printing right now. Almost hitting 100 points in profit on that short. Very close. Very nice. Bro, really rolling with the rebrand. Nah, it's just on X. Cause you know what it is too? It was trade with Kev on X, and then it was trading with Kev on Instagram. And whenever I tell the difference, I feel like some people end up following the wrong account for X. So I was like, let me just make it a bit different. I was gonna make my Instagram KevIndex as well, but it was taken. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait. I'll try to figure something out. I messaged the guy. The guy hasn't posted since 2012, 14 years. I contact support. Support tells me, oh, well, even though he hasn't posted, the account's still active. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Are you sure? Anyways, had me thinking. I did a poll. I talked to some people. I even asked Jeeve. I was like, Jeeve, what are your thoughts on this? He was like, I don't like it. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But then some other people were like, well, it's pretty OG at this point. The whole trading with Kev. Can't find you? Let me see. KevIndex on X. You could just look up my name too. Oh, the KevIndex. I'm so sorry. The KevIndex. The KevIndex. Why wouldn't I just make it the KevIndex? I guess the KevIndex rolls off the tongue a bit smoother. I saw somewhere you can just pay to get usernames. I wish. Nah, it's fine. We're gonna chill with trading with Kev. Because that's what you're doing anyways. I don't post too much on Twitter. I do have to start posting more. Some guy from the Philippines. Yeah, so trade with Kev is I'm sorry, the Kev Index is me. I'll see. Probably just pull it up here. I got you guys. The Kev Index. Too funny, man. Too funny. You see what happened with Moderna yesterday, and then I posted the link with MRKT. Beautiful, amazing. That's so cool, man. So cool. And then Instagram, we'll pull up Instagram while we're at it. You can literally look up my name and everything will come up. First one's Instagram. Then LinkedIn if you guys want to connect on LinkedIn. Go follow on Instagram too. I love posting on Instagram. This is my biggest channel is Instagram at the moment. Trading with Kev, the Kev Index, all that fun stuff. Always happy to help you guys. Should have your handle stapled on your stream. That's a good idea. Why don't I do that? That's a great idea. We have the MRKT AI handles on the bottom scrolling right there, but that's a good thought. I'll make like an animation for that. Good looks. Appreciate that. W to Mr. 03 King over here. Thank you, my guy. Bro, introduce yourself. What's your name? I'd love to call you by your name. I always love being a bit more personal with people. Damn, man, look at that. 100 points into profit on this NQ short trade. And I did not take this myself, but what a call out. Gold continuing higher. Yo, 2 banger call outs today on Market in the Morning. Ew, brother. Ew, who does it better? Nobody does it better. You know why? Where is it? Where's my flip phone? Because I got off the phone with the president this morning. I said, President, I need you to dump this thing. I need you to make sure inflation pumps again. Let's put scare. Let's put uncertainty. Let's put fear in the markets. That's exactly what's going on. Look at that, man. 135 points from that level. Massive. Gold currently floating 24 points into that. Amazing, guys. That's phenomenal. That's great. If you guys want to learn how I break things down, again, join these Market in the Morning streams. I love giving you guys some info, some input. I do have a mentoring program where I take you on. I do bouts of 5 where I take 5 people on for like a 2-month or 3-month stint. We meet twice a week for 2 months straight. Really take a nice firm handle on your trading, take it to the next level. I like to structure it. I don't think Luke's in here. I would have seen him. He's always saying good morning. But he's from Australia. I got people worldwide that I help, that I mentor, that I coach. And it's helpful because we'll meet once in the beginning of the week, let's say on a Monday or a Tuesday, even a Wednesday. And then once towards the end of the week, Friday, even Saturday, I'm fine with taking a weekend day for you guys so that we could review the past 2 days of trading, and on top of that, go over some homework of this is what I need you to focus on next. Brother, ew, yeah, exactly. Awesome, guys. What a great stream. It is 9:54. What trade call outs, man. That is beautiful. Good confluence level up here. Support, turn to resistance, low volume shelf, Fibonacci tool. That was just nice. That was nice. Gold continuing higher. VIX struggling around. VIX did give us that move lower before, which gave us that push higher to that level. Amazing. Gold looks like it's trying to continue. Check this out on gold right here, guys. This area that was support, resistance, back above it, trying to act as support. If you're not in this gold trade, this might be an area to look to re-enter. Stop around 44.77. Look to see if we want to follow trend. If we don't, then this might be the end of the trend up here. So just be a little careful. This was a great entry. Couldn't have been any better than that. Other than the guy who bought around 44.53. Forget who that was. I think it was Minhal. Somebody bought the very lows of that double bottom. Very nice entry. I know Seb, if you're still in here, brother, let me know. I know you also were looking at those same exact gold longs. Good job. I wouldn't look to hold the shorts too long if you are short NASDAQ, right? We'd want to sort of take that trade and know that fundamentals are still bullish as much as we are pulling back the past few days. What we could see is a bit, I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase a short squeeze. Well, we could see sort of the opposite of that, where it's a long squeeze where sellers are building up, building up, building up, building up, and then boom, buyers step in and bring us right back to that current trend. My name is Minhal Free. Oh, is you Ibrahim? Got you, bro. I got you. I forgot, man. And you know, I don't want to sit here and scroll all the way up in the comments, make you guys sit here and watch me scroll. That's boring. I don't want to be boring. Tazzy, 4537 on XA on MGC. Let's see. You down with MGC? Yeah, you know me. 4537. Okay, so you got in on the pullback over here. Cool. Very cool. Definitely be careful on this little pullback manipulation leg. And don't forget too, guys, we're looking at the 5 minute. Don't forget to look at the 15. Don't forget to look at the 30. Look at some higher time frames, right? Higher time frames still signaling buyers have control. No reason to really slow down just yet. Really good stuff. Good work, everybody. Be proud of yourselves. Every day you come into the market is an accomplishment. Every day you show up, you're getting 1% better, whether you think so or not. And if you don't think so, and if you're not making changes or adjustments, then yeah, you're going to end up in that cycle of doing the same thing over and over, that insanity cycle. Awesome. Sweet, guys. It is almost 10 o'clock. It's only 10? What do you mean it's only 10? Nabil got in 44.53. Nice. Let's go. Huge. Nabil, good job. Ibrahim, good job. Seb, 44.56. Oh my God, what an entry. I got to get the round of applause going in here. Yo, Seb, if you got time, if you got like 15 minutes and want to hop on the show today, let me know. I'll send you the link right now. Be fun. Cover your entry, cover your reasons, your stop loss. Would love to see that review. But for now, round of applause. You feel amazing. Send it. Fuck yeah, let's go, baby. Awesome. I'm going to send it right now. Guys, smash that like button. Show some love for Seb. He's going to be joining us in just a minute here. Seb. Let's see. All right, Seb, I'm messaging you right now. It is in your Discord. Sweet. Look at that, guys. You guys are getting a special guest today, too. Oh, my goodness. This is an all-star episode of Market in the Morning, and it's just going to get better from here, man. That indicator making things easier for us, market making things easier for us, commentary making things easier for us. Which Seb is it? It's Seb squared. It's the homie Mr. Seb, Mr. Canadian Seb, Mr. XAU Seb. But it's our homie. You'll see. It's the one that covers the Chart Fanatic streams as well. Hey, there he is. Yo, give me the thumbs up when you're ready if you want to get your screen share going, and I will bring you on stage. That is sick. Guys, W's in the chat. Amazing. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I'm going to check the likes right now. We better be above 60 at least. At least. 56. Guys, stop slacking. Get that up there. We need 75 likes, or Seb said he is not coming on. So you better run that up right now. Awesome, guys. Sweet. Chat, please welcome Seb. Yes, sir, guys. Let's get the drum roll going. Guys, we have the one, the only Mr. Seb. What is going on, brother?
What's going on? Yo, what's up? Where's that? There we go. Oh, I was just waiting for the YouTube stream to catch up. Good morning. What's going on, gang?
Good morning, man.
Let's go. Let's see. We got market's been moving today, so it's been a good morning for me, for sure. I was just actually reviewing this the 30-year bond yield after that move yesterday, which caused this downside. And now the market is like, yeah, I don't know if Besant's going to do all that. So let's correct that entire downside. So we are just waiting to see how the market reacts to this overall. But it was just a bit of research I was doing in terms of how that was impacting the market overall. So it looks like the market's already faded Besant overall.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, like, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let's cover your gold trade.
Yeah, of course. So obviously coming into the day, we had here. Let's pull it up on market actually. Now that everybody has drawing tools,
Yeah.
it is. Let's see what we got here.
Yo, that gold re-entry, guys, that we just called out, by the way, pumping.
So just to walk you guys through how I conceptualize this trade, right? So zooming out to the 30-minute here, coming into the day, we were in a bullish bias. Why? Because if we hit explain move here on market, it's going to explain to you why we had this massive green upside move with these candles here. So it was due to the US Treasury yields expanding the liquidity support and buybacks. So I covered this morning on the Chart Fanatic stream. This is the Treasury doing the dovish repricing for the Fed. They are doing the Fed a favor here. So the Fed can now come out and just be very ambiguous. They don't have to really do anything. The market did reprice a more dovish outlook after the Treasury did a bit of the easing for them. So to me, that's a bit of a Besant's little playbook that he has. He likes to be involved in markets. He likes to shake up markets. So he did just that, and that caused that dovish repricing by the markets. And then we saw that bullish move with the high put in around 45.50, I think it was, or 45.25 on spot. And then what does the market do? It corrects, right? So we did not get an instant reversal, which would have meant that sellers jumped in here. For me, this was more profit taking from these early buyers. And then I was waiting for a pullback to a good area. I wanted these highs to get tested, but we didn't get that. So I was waiting to see where the selling was going to stop. So when I look at markets and I look at auction market theory, in a sense, like the lens that I look through markets is very auction market theory driven, but also understanding overall price action and macro fundamentals and how those drive price. So once we had that corrective move, I saw the selling was going to start to slow down here, especially with New York volume coming in. So we had Asian session, London session, all bearish, basically, kind of correcting that upside move. So once we saw this double bottom print at 44.50 and New York volume was in the market, I had to take it. I can't pass up a trade like that. So I had to take that trade. First target was here once we got to 44.75, 44.80. And then now we are just in that secondary struggle area here where the market struggled to break higher overnight here around 4,500, also big psychological price point. But if we get back above that and then we get some acceptance above it and buyers find support above this resistance, it's going to extend higher. And something I wanted to cover here in terms of that treasury move, it's not like a instant headline. It's something that's going to happen over a course of time. So the market will adjust to that. And to me, this is going to give us a continuation of a bullish bias because it's not a headline that's going to get undone tomorrow. They've already said that this is what they're going to do. So the market needs to adjust to that extra liquidity coming into the market, which creates this bullish trend on gold. So if you zoom out to the daily, you can see that we are now starting to build some of that bullish trending market on gold. We had that 5-week balance range here where the market was kind of at a standstill. The selling stopped. So like I said earlier about the intraday time frame, the selling stopped. We didn't get any new lows. Then we had the impulse move out of the balance range. We found balance here over the start of the week and the end of last week, which I think it was a 5-day balance. And now we've shot out of that balance range again. So now we need to see whether the market wants to accept higher prices and look to see if they can build value above these highs, or if we come to this high and we form another balance range. So the market moves from balance into imbalance into balance. So right now I'm looking to see how price develops inside of here. If we get a breakout continuation, more money for me. If we don't, then we reassess and see what the market wants to do.
Awesome, bro. That's great. Great analysis. Let me ask you, when gold was trading in that range, were you trading any other assets or were you just range flipping with gold?
I was just range flipping with gold. When I trade in the balance, I am very cautious to not mess around in the middle. I don't diddle in the middle. So I I wait for the balance range lows to get tested. If we get an excess wick, so if you guys know what an excess wick is basically showing me that sellers get trapped in the market. If you get a big spike down, especially in high volume times like cash hours, and then you get that reversal, that tells me that those sellers got trapped and these buyers are going to squeeze the shit out of them and they're going to push prices back to the balance range highs. Then you fade the edges of the highs. And when gold is imbalanced like that, where it's like a 5 week period, you're probably going to go crazier trying to find the extension move out of the balance range than if you just fade the edges and wait for the market to tell you that you're wrong.
Yep. Awesome. Sweet. Guys, what a delight to have Seb join us today. What a surprise. How was your CF stream?
Yes, sir. It was good, man. It was good. I called the trade live. We just waited, and it played out like within my hour. We got the full extension, so it's always good to like see the whole trade materialize through the hour time slot that they give us.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's it sucks when you gotta like end the stream and it's like, well, I'll hold the trade. We'll see how it plays.
Yeah.
Like,
And then you come
right.
back the next day and it's like, oh, I closed it, but it extended because you weren't
Yeah,
there to like walk people through
yeah.
what was going on. What about you, Kev? How did you like what was your analysis on gold here for your, because we basically took the same buy
Yeah, bro.
and we had the same targets.
It was spot on. It was very clean. What I was looking for. So my edge, we always talk about like edges in trading. People have different edges.
Yep.
Obviously, fundamentals is a great add-on to help support our bias and everything. I'm a big supply and demand trader. I like finding those areas where price had that consolidation point, then gave us a strong impulse move. Because those consolidation points, that's volume picking up in the market, and the impulse move is the reaction to said volume. So I always mark these levels out myself manually. What I did recently over the course of the past couple weeks was I was working with Claude, giving it screenshot after screenshot of how I'm finding the zones, created an
Yeah.
indicator, and it marked out this 15-minute area from yesterday. So once we started holding this 15-minute area right here, said let's look for a retest. So here's our double bottom. Once we had the double bottom, I said we could look for a retest of this zone, which was right here at 840. 840, we tapped that level. That's our entry criteria. I didn't take this trade myself. Analysis was very spot on. A lot of people here in the chat did, which is great. It's funny, I'd rather they take the trade than I do sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
But it was nice. It played out very quickly. So the analysis was 15-minute demand, double bottom at a key level. It was also near that 4450 mark, which is a key psychological level. Our
Yeah.
MRKT terminal, we used Ask Market to prepare today. Go to
Yeah.
history, help me prepare. It helps us prepare for the S&P, NASDAQ, and gold. And when we were looking at gold, what was sticking out to us was gold was holding a lot more bullish versus the ES and NQ. The ES and NQ were really seeing some more stronger bearish fundamentals because of that higher oil situation impacting possible inflation and yields, whereas gold was not taking that into consideration as strong. Gold was seeing a much stronger reaction to the upside, holding more bullish versus ES and NQ, which were bullish with reversal risk. So
Yeah.
used market to confirm gold is the asset we want to take a look at for continuation. Used our levels, used the double bottom, looked for a very nice trade. I think let's see where we're at now. Close, we're close. I was also looking for all of these, I like to call them like low-hanging fruit, where we have an area of a lower high, an area of a lower high, just all lining up right on top of each other, right? Because I was telling people too, when you're getting into trading, getting into a trade, you don't want to just think, okay, where can I go long? You want to think from both sides. If you were short, where would your stop loss be by now, right? If you were long, where would your stop loss be? Because at that point, you're finding price targets and you're finding pain in the market. When you find pain, there's gain. So when I see these low-hanging fruits that I call them, where it's lower high, lower high, lower high, and they're all very close together, I see that as, okay, well, if I was a retail trader and I was short anytime after this one, that's where my stop loss would be. If I was short anytime after this lower high, that's where my stop loss would be. Sort of, I think some people call it like engineered liquidity, where it's got
Yeah.
all those lower highs formed. You ever hear of that?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that term. I've never understood it, to be quite honest with you, but it makes sense now that you're explaining it in that way. It's almost like it's to put it lightly, retail liquidity, because that's where their stops would be.
Exactly, exactly. So retail liquidity, engineered liquidity, whichever way you cut it, low hanging fruit. I like to see it as an area where if we could find support below, I'd want to see price run through those areas. And on top of that, right, we're looking at the 5 minute now. We're looking at the 15 minute, the 30 minute. We can't forget to look at the daily. The daily on
Yeah,
gold yesterday was a beautiful pump. And not only was it a big bullish candle, but the volume was complementing the price action. When volume complements price, we see follow through. So that told me at this point, when gold on the daily was all the way down here, that we're most likely, if we don't pull back and go bullish today, we're at least going to pull back a little bit. There's not no chance we continue lower, but there's a much higher probability that buyers step in and continue because we're in that more bullish regime now because of all
yeah,
of these different reasons.
yeah, 100%. And when gold starts moving, but especially when it bores you to sleep for 5 weeks, you
Yep.
get used to that, right? You get used to the market doing that, and then you expect that to. It's called recency bias, right? You only remember what's happened recently, but you don't
Yep.
remember that when gold actually starts trending, you get very minor pullbacks, you get very minor consolidations, and then it just continues to go higher. So that's super important to know as well too, right? Like after gold bores you to sleep, it's likely just gonna give you that move that you weren't expecting and you were probably not positioned for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Awesome,
I
bro.
think another thing going into today, which was giving gold a bit more of a bullish bias and then on indices a bit more bearish, was Trump threatening all the other countries with uh,
Warfare.
economic warfare, right?
Like
So
what?
yeah, so what do the other countries do? You have to de-dollarize a bit, right? So you have to buy gold. And
Yo,
in
that
that sense, what are you doing, right? You're liquidating some indices, some risk on assets to then move them into a safer vehicle in case Trump does something stupid.
dude, that's fine. We covered that too. How Trump had those headlines. Yo, Ask Market Man is phenomenal, bro. Like we
Oh
have
yeah.
like, can you pull up any recent Trump headlines from overnight? Trump may order intensive attacks on Iran if economic pressures fail. Trump says Iran deal perspectives are weak. Where was it for the? Let's see. Trump's economic plan hinges on Dubai support. Key themes. Trump froze Iran talks for weeks. Iran pushes back. Trump's Iran economic plan hinges on Dubai support, UAE. But really, yeah, that economic D-Day we see right here. Like, yo,
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
we talking about, bro? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Oops.
Oh hey, you're good, you're good.
But what are we talking about, bro? Like, what do you mean economic D-Day? What are you doing to us? What are you doing to, I was mentioning too in the pre-market, like, this isn't just US and Iran. This isn't impacting US inflation only. This is impacting the entire world. China's inflation, UK, Canada just had higher inflation readings too. If oil is seeing not a 5% disruption to the inventory, but 20% disruption to global oil inventories is going to linger into the entire global economy. It's going to impact energy prices. All of these domino effects, as we saw in the past, hit big companies. They pass that cost on to the consumer. Inflation rises. The Fed gets scared, and interest rate hikes end up back on the table. Now, we're not completely at that point yet. What are your thoughts? Do you think with this acceleration, this escalation again? Do you think we're heading towards that point one more time?
No, in the sense of the escalations, especially when you look at oil, if you just flip back to my screen here.
Got you.
So I was saying this in the CF stream today as well, right? Like oil here at 86 is not oil up here. Up
Yeah.
here, there was a lot of uncertainty with the geopolitical tensions. Were they going to get worse? We didn't know that at the time. So inflation expectations were following that uncertainty and that volatility.
Yep.
Once that all settled and we realized that it's just going to be a back and forth between Trump and Iran, it's just going to be, is the Strait open, is it not? It wasn't going to be anything of a greater military scale. The market adjusted the inflation expectations to that. It doesn't mean that oil can't go higher, but inflation expectations for the longer term, which is what the Fed looks at, they're well anchored now. So maybe 1 year inflation expectations are going to spike because of oil, but what are 3 year, what are 5 year, what are 10 year inflation expectations are doing? And if we pull those up here, 5 year, right? So I actually had this marked off before, right? So this move here priced that hawkish Fed when the war first started. When the market realized that it wasn't going to be anything of a bigger scale, inflation expectations fell hard. And now we're just kind of in this range here between 2.8 and 2.15. I would need to see another impulsive move in inflation expectations higher for that then to translate into the Fed becoming a bit more hawkish again. Okay. So as of right now, I don't see the market looking through the oil, not even price spike, it's just oil moving higher, likely to fill that gap. The market's not seeing that transmit into inflation expectations right now. So if you look at oil here, we have this little gap here that I think the market wants to fill, and then it's gonna then sell off from there.
Awesome. Yo, I see somebody in the comments, a couple comments here that we'll cover. Tyler Bowers. What's going on, Tyler? Hello, welcome to the stream. I got in on shorts at the bottom. What'd you short? You shorted the lows of something? Let me know what you shorted, or if you went long or short, maybe you misspoke there, but let me know. Let's see, who else? We also have Scott Riley asking, Seb, are you still holding the longs?
I'm not he's asking about the longs I took yesterday, which were the ones before the Treasury blessed me with that spike. I took them down here from 43.25, but no, I secured when we came back below these highs, and then I jumped in again today.
Awesome. And Paul, what's going on, Paul? Derek says, what chart is that on TradingView for inflation?
So the ticker is, let me pull up my watch list.
What a watch list, man. You got a yellow book of a watch list.
So it's T5YIE for 5 year, and then T10YIE for 10 year inflation expectations.
Awesome.
But this entire watch list here is all inflation metrics.
That's cool. How do you use those?
It all depends on what I'm looking at, right? So if I'm looking at how is oil transmitting into the economy, I'll look at the price of diesel, right? So what are consumers paying at the pump? Because that also drives inflation expectations and consumer sentiment. Cool. The more you have to spend on gas, the less money you have to spend on anything else. And that's probably the most volatile and more impact for like your everyday consumer that are not watching the CPI or the PPI or the PCE. They're only looking at, they gauge inflation by, are gas prices going up or are they going down?
Right.
So I use that for a consumer lens. I also have the Fed, the Dallas Fed has the trimmed mean PCE, which is basically super trimmed because they take out all the volatility in energy prices and everything that is volatile for a 1 month period. So they remove the most volatile metric in the basket to kind of smooth out the inflation. So the Dallas Fed actually has PCE at 2.23.
Oh yeah, inflation's only at 2.23. You guys are paying for nothing, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you have like your CPI, your core CPI, PPI. This watch list was developed a long time ago, and I still go back to it whenever I need to really get a gauge of how the market's moving. So other things I have here, for example, are financial conditions index. So are financial conditions tightening or are they loosening? You can see here with that Treasury move that they are loosening again. The market can't tighten conditions for more than a week or two these days without a reaction from somebody.
Awesome.
Then you
What
have
do
credit spreads. Credit spreads are well contained, so there's no real risk of in the overall economy from that view. And then just a bit of anything else that I really need to dig into, like the yield curve, the bond yields, interest rates, and growth. Growth, inflation, and liquidity for me are basically the three things that drive the market.
Okay. Well, yeah, yeah, for the most part, right? Employment, inflation, yields, yeah, those are sort of the core.
Yeah, they're all the data reports that tie back to interest rates because interest rates at the end of the day are what moves the market.
Yep, absolutely. Monetary policy.
You got it. All right, gold's going for it.
Somebody's asking XAU buy or sell from which zone?
Oh, buddy, you're late.
Yeah,
You're
definitely a
you're
little
gonna have
late.
to you're gonna have to wait till we get back above 4,500, in my opinion. Here, I would need to see these sellers get taken out aggressively, and then we come back and retest the breakout.
Yep, yep.
That's exactly what I would be looking for. And if we fail here again, then I don't think I would trust these lows, and I would need to look for something lower.
Awesome. Awesome. An area I was looking for that I saw, guys, was if you are looking for some type of re-entry, just understand that you are sort of, I don't want to say chasing at this point, but a lot of the move has already happened.
You're
So,
diddling in the middle.
yeah, fiddle in the middle, right?
Don't diddle in the middle.
Don't fiddle in the middle. This zone right here on the 30-minute time frame was a support multiple times. We broke it. It was resistance. We're back above it again. But look at this current price action here on the 5-minute. This is barcoding, right? Now buyers still have control, but this is a barcode price action. We don't want to be buying high. If anything, we would want to buy low back in this range. Could possibly look for a re-entry 44.83. Stops around 44.77, 78. But don't, I always tell you guys too, right? If I'm giving you guys a trade idea, don't just take it blindly. Do your own analysis, do your own due diligence. Your goal as a trader isn't to just, oh, I need to make money. Everybody has to make money, right? That's yeah, obviously. That's going to come secondhand when you understand the skill more. You can't make money in trading consistently if you come in and you're just trying to take whatever trade the next person tells you to take. You're going to have no reasoning behind it. And guess what? We're going to have trade callouts or trade setups that don't play out. That is normal. That's going to happen. Losses are a part of the game. Remember, we're trading financial markets. This is a numbers game. Losses happen. Wins happen. That's why our goal is to have those winners surpass those losers. But
You got it.
what's that?
I said you got it, bro.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. But original trade entry, that it's cool, man. It's cool. Seb over here was on the Chart Fanatic stream, called out the same exact gold longs that we called out here on Market in the morning. That's how you know it's a good setup.
Exactly.
Bang. Continuing there. Beautiful.
The market
Amazing.
team was making money today, printing setups.
Yo, that's it, bro. That's it.
I think something important too that you kind of covered in what you just said is you can't look at the market like obviously we can make money from the market, but it's just a risk transfer, right? So
Yep.
wherever you're entering, that's you willing to take a risk at that price. Somebody's taking their risk off the table for you to be able to enter that position, so for you to be able to put risk into the market. So it's just a transfer of risk, right? Like at what point are you willing to risk, and at what point is someone getting squeezed so bad that they have to get out of the market? There's always
That's
going
right.
to be someone on the other side of your trade.
That's a good point. Great point. It's something I'm glad you mentioned that. Something I like to talk about too. I mentioned this I think last week in one of our Market in the Morning streams. Is that we hear trading, we talk to people about it, and people's idea is, oh, we're trading against some of the smartest people in the world. And that's true to a point, right? Because on the flip side of that, we don't want to trade against the smartest people in the world because they have an advantage. We want to try to trade with the smartest people in the world. We want to trade against the people that are selling low and buying high. We want to be the traders like the institutions are doing that are positioning at lows to go long, at highs to go short. We don't want to diddle in the middle. Institutions aren't buying right here in the middle of nowhere. Institutions have already positioned. So We
Yeah,
should.
and it's one
Yep.
of those things where their position and we with market, we're getting an informational advantage above the rest
Yep.
of retail. So we are positioning ourselves with the institutions, with that institutional level data to be ahead of what the retail normies would be looking at, right? So we do have that informational advantage with access to market AI. And that's a really critical thing to understand, especially understanding markets overall, right? Like, how many people did you see yesterday questioning what happened on gold and they had no idea what happened? But we knew right away when that headline came out why that impulse move happened to the upside.
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys.
Question
Man.
here about how do I cycle and read through the inflation charts, for example, when XAU breakout from 4200s? What do you look for before that? So, inflation and CPI is not about prices going higher or lower. The way inflation is measured is the variance in that price for that month. So it's the speed at what price changes, right? So that's how they gauge inflation. It's not like, oh, the prices went up, it's at the speed that they go up. So when you see inflation like in 2022 go up to, I think it was what, 9.7% in the US and I think 11% in Canada,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where inflation was month over month going aggressively higher, right? So prices were moving. You'd go to the grocery store on Monday and then it was a different price by Thursday. Now that's slowing down. You might go to the grocery store on Monday and the price won't change for 3 or 4 weeks, right? So it's the speed and the velocity of the price changes. That's how inflation gets measured. So when you ask me, how do I cycle through the inflation charts? I have to look and see at what the monthly trend is doing. And we've seen in CPI that the monthly trend is not generating that aggressive upside. It's just kind of staying chopping in between 2.3 to 3.3. And the market's okay sitting in that range. Until that breaks to one side or the other side, I don't think the Fed has a reason to reprice that. But when you look at it in the situation with gold, you need to understand that gold was repricing a more hawkish Fed for weeks and months, right? From here basically down to here. So once we got a confirmation that we weren't selling anymore and we had those factors change where that created this impulse move, now we're looking for continuations. And in my opinion, gold could trade in this range here like this for years and we
Oh
wouldn't
yeah. That's a
bat an
big
eye,
range.
right? That's a massive range. And gold tends to do that, right? Like if you look back in time, this range here was about a year. And then this range here, which was the post COVID range, was 4 years of gold being in like a higher time frame balance before breaking out. So if you look at the size of this range and you kind of bring this box from that previous range up here, that was 4 years that traded in that range. We basically touched that low and broke out of that in what, a week and a half.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see how much bigger the moves are these days with the volume and volatility in the market. So it's also important to understand that as well and how that can move price in a specific direction and how you have to size accordingly, right? So 2022 to 2024, you can take a 50 pip stop loss and it secure at 150 and it's your 1 to 3 and you're done for the day, done for the week. Now you get that in like a 1 minute or a 5 minute candle.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's when we know we have to adjust. We're not trading these conditions the same way we would be trading back then. Some people think
Exactly.
we're getting a bigger range, I can make more money, and they don't change their size. No, you have to size down. You'll make the same money. Sizing down is fine. Sizing down isn't just fine, it's necessary, because that's how you're able to withhold and have those wider stop losses.
And just to answer the second question here about essentially you read the CPI reports. I don't read the report per se, like what's in the report. I just look at the trend month over month, right? And
Yep.
I'll give you a cheat code. I think it's the Cleveland Fed that has an inflation nowcast. They
Okay.
have a massive It's like an algorithm that tracks inflation, and they're pretty spot on with it. So I usually take a look at that as well as the month goes on and see if that's changing week over week or day over day. But yeah, if you go to Cleveland Fed Inflation Nowcast, it'll actually give you the figures that they're looking at for inflation. So I'll put it up here.
Full TP hit. Let's go, Lisa. Full TP on gold. Let's go. Yeah, we just swept that first liquidity high we were looking for. Bang.
Yeah, let's go. So you can see here, this is the Fed's inflation nowcast. So the next print we're waiting for is August CPI, and then for the yearly, we're waiting for July PCE, and then July PCE as well. PCE to me does not have a big impact, even though it's the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, because it's at the end of the month and the market has already adjusted based on what they saw from the CPI earlier in the month. So even though the Fed really focuses on that, I find that the report never deviates too much from what the expected range is.
Cool. Sweet. Bro, that is amazing. Guys, this has been one of the best market in the morning sessions in a while. Even though every day is the best, but today was a very
Yes,
clean
yes,
one.
yes.
We had some great analysis earlier, amazing gold call out, even an amazing Nasdaq short call out that netted about 150 points on NQ. So that's great too. Just two back-to-back great trades in these interesting markets we're seeing. And then we had a special guest join us today as well, surprise guest on top of that. Very cool, bro. Thank you for being here.
Bro, anytime.
Is there anything you want to leave us off on? We'll wrap up market in the morning in just a moment here.
I will leave you guys off with Jackson Hole next month. Super important. Kevin, I'm sure you're probably going to have a stream to run that. It's going to be in the afternoon. I think it's around like 10 a.m. Sorry, not afternoon. It's around like 10 a.m. or 11 where Warsh speaks. I
Okay.
think that's going to be really big. Uh, Bullish bias on gold for me continues into next week. There's nothing telling me that the market is going to reprice this treasury move until Warsh opens his mouth next week. So big
Yeah.
focus is next week is Jackson Hole. And then September starts to roll in and we get that second half of the year and volume and volatility will come back into the market. So we are in for some fireworks over the next little bit here, in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, I don't have anything else to leave you guys with other than trade smart, watch your risk, follow macro fundamentals and market AI because that is what is driving the market. And you need to have that informational advantage to make the right decisions.
There we go. There we go. Beautiful, guys. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow us on social media is at MRKT_AI. Have a great rest of your day. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose on any single trade. Gold is again pumping right now. Absolutely love to see it. Great call out, great moves. That's just your typical Thursday here on Market in the Morning. Guys,
Let's
have a great
go.
rest of your day. Seb, thank you for being here.
Anytime, bro. I'll see you guys later. Take
See you
care.
later. Peace.